Hello, Warriors. Let's have a great week. Hello, Alexander, Silent Observer, Patrick Kareem, Buddy, Trading Warrior Brothers, Smoog, Jordan, Richard, Steve. Okay, Michael Bergman and Hugo, all you guys. So we have a strong dollar again.
Good early morning, Dale. Have a good week.
Yes, let's have a great week, Kman. So we got the yen pushing new highs again. So a lot of things
Pushing
are
really
kind of like
hard.
same as it ever was, talking heads.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So 732 new highs.
Yeah.
Not confirming. Dixie tried to reverse Friday, but it was a weak reversal, and the Dixie is at new highs. There's a lot of non-confirmations here, but I'm just reading COVID, Shanghai, zero tolerance. Is that risk off today? China again?
There's been a problem with the bank in China as well. And
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's a bit of stuff happening. Yeah, there's the COVID on the one hand, and then these problems in the banks. So we might hear a bit more of that. At the same time,
Real estate related, like with that Evergreen.
Come again?
You know, it's mainly in the real estate sector, the bad debt out there. Evergreen was a big story, I believe.
Yeah, but then there's a bank, I forgot the name right now, which one it is. But on the yen, so the ruling party has maintained quite easily, actually, the majority. They will have the 2/3 majority with which they can do law changes and stuff. And then at the same, well, a few hours later, Kuroda came out and just going like same. Kishida saying that they will continue to apply Abe's Abenomics, basically. Okay. So the market took it as, okay, don't change the team. Let's just continue to buy these. But I have a bit of resistance right here in the dollar yen.
And look at yields, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yields pop, but you know, well, yields are actually down again. So the last time we had this, you know, little pullback in yen, I can quote you that, you know, something's got to give, which was a movie with Jack Nicholson, where he was compulsive, obsessive. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It'll make you laugh. But something, so what's going to give? I mean, unless we just have a real sharp move up in rates, because Wednesday's the number, the biggest number in the history of global markets is Wednesday. Right?
In the history of global markets.
You know, you can't. I'm just trying to make it bigger than everyone else's.
Yeah.
It's going to. It's going to steer the direction of the cosmos for the next millennium. Okay, buddy?
You think it's going to have the impact of the big quake in Japan, where shorelines have been pushed back and sideways?
Oh, that was, yeah, the one in Indonesia where I think Sumatra moved. Yeah, that was, yeah, you're talking Fukushima.
I'm talking Fukushima, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't think there'll be big commitments. I mean, I personally, when I think about trading today, and I know what's coming Wednesday, unless I have a you know, scalping mindset, you know, I don't want to carry a lot of positions into that number. It's so binary, right?
Yeah, it is. And there's also, if we look a little bit ahead, on Friday, we have the Michigan, which contains inflation part as well. And Powell was hinting at that last time he was talking. So there's a bit going on this week. There's a bit going on indeed. Yeah. Okay.
Aussie gave it back. Yeah. Aussie gave it all back.
Aussie gave it all back, and we are back on the support.
Right.
It's possibly worth a try for those who want to catch a knife, but then don't be stubborn. But as we know, it's always the most offered at the bottom and the most bid at the top. So
I mean, it's not going to confirm here at new lows. I mean, so we will have some divergences there. I don't know about euro. Let me look at cable here for a second. So cable.
Cable gave.
The cable looks like it wants to go to this return line, Kman.
But it's also giving back. Actually, basically what we saw on Friday looks to have been like a
non-event.
It's not a non-event. I think on Friday probably people were a bit too much in position, used the number to take profit on some dollar longs, and then they put it all back onto this morning. That's what the impression it gives to me. You look at Aussie week, Euro week. Well, the dollar is strong versus everything basically.
This is a new high, isn't it? Yep. So we're taking out Friday's high. Are we taking out Friday's low in the euro? Not quite yet.
Yeah.
So let's see what's holding Friday's low. You know, actually cable's well above it. Well, of course, the yen took out new highs, and the Aussie
is right back where it was. So
yeah. So you're not getting any hints as far as, you know, where's your relative strength against the dollar? Nowhere.
No, not in a lot of places. The only ones, but even not Canada and MEX today. So MEX lost exactly what euro lost, and the Aussie and stuff. So the dollar is just 1% stronger against everything compared to where it was on Friday. So
look at where Wile E. Coyote is sitting right here on the ledge on Euro Pound. What do you think? Into the canyon?
Well,
huh?
Can we say it as a trader? But I don't have a clue. But it doesn't look big at all.
Yeah. So I don't know. Real tight ranges here. Double inside day. I want to see what it does down here around 84 at 61.8. Because I mean, you know, let's. In a true bear market, I was taught, and it's not happening now, is that Euro Pound should be leading the euro down. And look how far off the lows we are. So you know, it's not going to help you if you believe in it. It even could hurt you because you keep looking for places to buy euro because of how Euro Pound is acting. But I don't think we're going to 82 again in Euro Pound.
We don't have too long to wait, right? To know next week on the 21st we have the ECB, so I think we will know then for the next couple of big figures in the euro sterling.
Okay, the one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb again is the yen making a new high, and I just see two scenarios in the 10-year, and you know, that we're going to blow through this high. Or, you know, a lot of people think we might get a failing rally at about 320, which could be a right shoulder. Okay. The only thing I know is back under these lows, yields are going to drop like a stone.
And that's probably key for the dollar yen as well, if we only look at the dollar yen. Because the thing is, yes, it's priced, but then fact is that you're looking at 3%. If you are rounded up to 3.25, let's say this dollar 10-year, or you look at 2.75, 3% differential in interest rates between Japan and the US. So it might be priced in, but do you want to be long yen with such a picture?
No.
That's
I'm tempted, you know, I'm looking to short it. Because I think the bond markets are the smartest markets.
Yeah, but now bond traders are even themselves surprised about how quickly the market, and they have to reprice central banks. So it's a bit of a
volatility
there as well.
Yeah. So we're at your resistance level, 137.5. Is Blake still on the pirate ship in San Diego with Christian or Roman?
I would say so because I haven't seen him.
I don't see him.
Okay.
Good morning.
Anyway, I'm just guessing. I know it's not a pirate ship. He's really he is a Marine, but those old ships he was in, looks like San Diego Harbor. Where
it's sunk, Dale. It's sunk.
It's sunk. Oh my God.
Yeah, he got cannonballed.
You know, guys. You know why pirates are called pirates?
Why?
They just are.
Oh.
That's a bad one. Oh, sorry, bad one.
Yeah, and so is gold. So I mean, where are we going? 1680. Where are we going?
We've been talking about 1680 being the kind of
Magnet.
the magnet for a bear case scenario, and we are getting
There's
there.
some moving averages there. Let me.
Yeah, we
just
talked
check
about
it.
this stuff in the flow show this morning, and I have my order in for silver at 1880 to go full size long and then forget about it. But
I know why is because of 61.8 here.
At
1860.
No, there is a zone which is around 1850 to 1870, and I always like to put my order a little bit before the zone just in case it doesn't get hit. So if you go back on a weekly chart, you'll see there is there are some levels there which have been tested and tested and tested again. Yeah, there's some highs there, and anyway,
it's also 61.8 back of this whole post-COVID move here, right here.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? When you think about it, as weak as silver is now, and gold, look at how well it's held up compared to euro, compared to cable.
Yeah, let's see.
S&Ps have held up well too. So
the weird thing is that we're seeing inflation, okay, for months and months now. So inflation is going up. The markets are going, oh my God, the Fed's going to be tightening more and more. So the Fed is tightening rates, and other central banks, of course. Yeah. So inflation, what does it mean? Prices of things are going higher. Right. So the Fed is tightening and the dollar strengthens as a result. So everybody goes, oh my God, sell all commodities, because the dollar is going higher. So basically we sell commodities because prices of things are going higher. It makes absolutely no sense. So this is the classic short-term reaction that you're seeing that affects, obviously if you're a day trader, is going to matter. But this is short-term knee-jerk reaction that sees things go the opposite way to where they should be going.
If you want a glimmer of hope about buying silver down there, Stel, because the gold shares aren't acting that great. Okay, so I mean, here's GDX.
Yeah.
We're not at new lows yet, but that doesn't look as good. But take a look at some of these silver juniors. Look at this one. Would you short that?
Well, I don't know. I have to look at when you look at the individual miners, then you have to go into the cash flows and their,
the due diligence.
Debts. Yeah.
Well, I'm just talking about a chart. Just say it's a.
No, that looks like a false breakdown, right? Yeah, from the previous lows.
I mean, I'm just saying the divergence, and barely made new lows with, silver taking out, that 2040 level was here. Okay, so now we're way under. Remember that 2040 was a big number that we finally flushed. So it took a break to 19 just for it to get back to prior lows. Similar with Fortuna, a little weaker, but the silver miners are not acting that bad compared to like you look at GDX. You look at Yamana. Yamana had a pretty good pop because there's still a buyout bid, but Newmont's looks lousy, but diverging. Anyway, I'm married to them, so I'm married to those silver shares. See what happens.
Let's see, but I do agree with yields when you talk about 10-year US 270 something, those lows. As long as we're above that, and as long as the central banks are still, plowing ahead, the Federal Reserve is expected to do another 75 and then a 50. As long as the equity markets are not crashing and they're kind of dropping at an orderly rate without, we haven't seen big volume capitulation moves yet. Definitely not. We're down 20% from the highs, but we still haven't seen something like that. So as long as equity markets are kind of controlled, the Fed is going to keep going. And as long as the Fed keeps going, my bias remains. I'm a buyer of yields. Basically, I think we should be bullish yields above that 270 something level, and seller
and
of
that's going to be negative for everything.
Yeah, and seller of risk on rallies. That's still my view.
Let's play Blake's game then. 3635 first or 4100.
Tough call. Logic says 3500.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously.
Kman,
I'm going to say the same thing as I told Blake when he asked the questions about 38 and 43. I said, give me a rally to 41 and I'll sell it happy.
Yeah,
that's true. So it's just for over a shot of whiskey and a beer.
Can we have a bit of margin on this one? Because I think we came within 3 pips of the last one.
Yeah, should be anywhere in the neighborhood. Anything else of interest coming out of Europe today, guys?
We have to note for people who traded, we did get Norway CPI this morning, 6.3% year on year, up from 5.7 and expected 5.9. So that's still rising at a pretty decent pace. But if you look at the currency, it's weakening today because obviously the dollar is rallying against everything. And
what's the symbol, bro? I don't want. I'm going to start watching it.
Which one? The CPI?
Norway.
SCX.
What? No, I was talking about the CPI, but I was talking about the CPI and then the dollar Norway. So the dollar Norway FX pair.
Steve said SGX. What?
He said
SEX.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's why you did it.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. This is what Steve trades. Anything with sex in it. So how you doing? They're all on the same exchange, Brazil. So that's where you're going to be having success.
No, that's Spain, isn't it? Is it? No, what is it?
Spain? BME?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. It looks like a Spanish flag, that.
I played hooky during geography.
Steve likes to think long in everything to do with sex. His missus says he's short, though.
He
doesn't have a comeback, so he laughed. Anyway,
no, I had, but it was definitely PG-17, so I kept.
All right. So Steve, I know you long-term bearish a dollar, aren't you? Doesn't feel like DSI is like 90 and it's 10 or 8.
Yeah, but that doesn't change anything under the current environment. The dollar should remain very well bid.
Everyone have to wait for the Fed to ring a bell for everything to change? I mean, is it that simple?
Practically, yes. Not just because it's the the most important central bank, but because unfortunately we live in a world that the vast majority of there are two different reasons. One, there are several countries that are practically directly or indirectly are attached to the dollar one way or the other. For example, having debt denominated in dollars or using the dollar or having a peg to the dollar or you name it. And two, there are a lot of countries that are very, very happy to follow the mistakes of the Fed just after the Fed. So in essence, indirectly, the Fed plays the tune and the rest more or less dance, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. And Fed, we'll have some people to discuss what they think is going to happen in the Fed. What's that, the 27th or something like that at the end of the month. So
I think it's going to be 75 again.
Okay.
So I mean, Steve, I don't see any reason why not.
What can you explain why the correlation is? Do you think it's just detaching from it, but all the way up it was pretty tight, about 90% US dollar yen 10-year yields, and the last couple of weeks they look like two different markets.
That's the Japanese side of the dollar yen.
Exactly. That's intrinsic to the yen, and markets' obvious understanding that the BOJ, for the time being, is determined to stay the course In essence, we have the ECB and the BOJ for different reasons mostly that don't want to follow in reversing the extremely loose monetary policies.
Yeah.
So what's the result of that? We're seeing the market, of course, punish the yen and punish the euro as well, right?
Right. And someone else, really, the only central bank that's not tightening is China. And even though they're not tightening because of COVID and busted real estate market, they're having banking issues. Could that spread?
China in general is a black box, as I've said multiple times in the
Yeah.
past. It's a very tough situation. I mean, it's extremely hard to judge what to expect from China. It's also extremely hard to judge what the actual situation and the actual problems are. I mean, we get a hint on occasion, of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But many times we get just, a very small part of the, picture. Sometimes we are completely oblivious to some of the dynamics that are in play. Data are completely unreliable and untrustworthy. Only one thing is for sure, right? If and when, for whatever reason, things get out of hand in China, obviously, that's a global risk of, reason, right?
That's why I thought maybe markets were lower today because, they're Shanghai reported 3 new COVID infections outside quarantine. 3 from 0 to 1,700 on July 11th. And
yeah,
that's
I'm
enough
really
for
curious
them.
to see what's
Do you
going to
really
happen
think
again.
they're doing it because of zero COVID policy, or is there other reasons for it? I've seen pictures of Chinese standing in line at the ATM, and they could only withdraw a certain amount. And that I saw that before I heard from Kman today about some banking issues in China. Is China melting? And they're using COVID to, when people are there, they don't use the same amount of resources, etc. When they're quarantined. I mean, in prison.
I don't know about you guys, but I saw those videos from China allegedly. I mean, with fake news, you don't know what's real and what's not. But videos of thousands of people outside banks, demanding their money, and it looks like a bank run. And it's
right.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it because China is pretty huge if this happens.
Yeah,
I think it's twofold. You got the COVID stuff, which they've had this zero COVID policy from the off, and
true.
Chinese, they can't waver from the government line. That's what they've said is happening, and they'll do it, be damned, or whatever. The banking stuff's a bit different. These seem to be like smaller regional banks, and the guy who set them up, or one of the guys who set them up, is in trouble for it because they were taking deposits but not paying out, offering a good interest rate that they couldn't live up to. So it's something that may develop into something. But what you got to know with China is that if they want to step in and take over those banks, shore up all the deposits, they can do it with the PBOC can do it with a click of the fingers.
Of course.
It's not like we would over here where everyone will be pulling their hair out and the markets will be going potty. If they want to stop something like that, if someone's been doing something criminal, they'll just step in and go, right, okay, you're covered. Don't worry about it, sorted. And, everyone will blink and move on. Same as the Evergrande thing. That's still trucking on, but it hasn't been the end of the world as people predicted.
Well, we don't know. That's the whole thing. We don't know, right?
Get the disclaimer in.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris.
Yeah, it's what I said before, a huge black box, if you ask me. And that's why I refrain from making speculations, because it's very easy to go into the game of speculating. But then you start, a very complex chess game in your head. Like, okay, have they let that happen for a reason? And if they did let it happen for a reason, what is that reason?
Someone says to slow down the supply chain.
Somebody would argue that there are other reasons. There are other methods and ways to do that without creating, that noteworthy events. You know what I mean?
Population control. They
And
don't have to lock up the country to do that.
And
what
there
you're
we
saying.
go back to what I was just saying, is that in my opinion, it's an endless mind
Yeah.
game going through it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
why
you
did
do.
they let it happen? Was it by mistake? If it was by mistake, what does that show? If it wasn't by mistake, what was the plan?
Well,
If
everything was, COVID was just a mistake, you know,
yeah,
when it got out of the lab. So
yeah,
anyway, you know, it's a black box that I think is causing a lot of issues. So not that, you know, we
uh,
haven't poked them in the eye.
yeah. Plus, you know, something causing a lot of issues is also in a huge extent. I mean, the vast majority, I think. Yeah, I think that it was Shy Girl that tweeted that a few days ago, and she's absolutely right. It didn't have to do with China, but she did tweet. She said that the vast majority of the Western world problems are self-inflicted, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is a really good answer to what you just said as well. I mean, China can be, as well as other issues, Russia, China, etc., can cause, you know, a huge variety of issues to Western countries, because we let that happen, right?
Yeah.
Because in essence, we build economies that are reliant
On
on
China.
unreliable partners just because
Right.
it was short-term
Cheap.
convenient, right?
Yeah. 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 So that was it. That was the game. So hollow out every Western industrial country and be reliable for a while until you're mad at somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So which isn't reliability.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I wonder if one of you guys could take over. I have an interview in about 3 minutes, and I just have to. I have a little CK happening here with.
Sure, absolutely.
You want to grab the screen for a minute, Steve?
Absolutely. I
All
will.
right. What a team! Look at this instantaneous takeover by Steve
Seamless.
Volge. So the people that haven't heard, you know, we don't hear or see your charts in Face anymore. It's only Morning Edge for subscribers. Um, give them a few ideas. I'll tell you something. You know, I'm not in the Morning Edge, but I sure miss seeing your charts, man. That's why I took them over for a while and didn't even know it. Remember?
Yeah, you do.
All right, I'll be right back.
By the way,
Anyhow,
we have a couple
yes,
of people
Elio?
asking when is David Hunter coming? He's tomorrow. Today we have Nargis and
Today we have Nargis
David
and tomorrow we
yeah.
have David. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, there are a few things that are really worth noting today. One of the things I wrote in the weekend analysis as well has to do with crude oil, right? Crude oil, in essence, on Friday entered the sell zone again, because in my opinion, since we broke through this blue ascending channel, we are in a sell the rally mode. So the fact that we're rolling over from there today, in my opinion, is a rather nice development, because it opens the door for, you know, another leg to the downside. So I do think that crude should be in the spotlight today. And yeah, I know it's not the exception, right? We have dollar strengthening, as we said before, and that causes a few of the FX pairs to actually be producing, you know, breakout, breakdown, etc. developments. USD yen is definitely one of them, which is now triggering this rectangle, in essence, targeting the next upside area, which is 139.30, whatever, somewhere there, the extension of this rectangle's range. So, you know, that is definitely a trade that, you know, gets triggered today for those that want to play the breakout. And I'm really carefully paying attention to the Aussie and the Kiwi, which barely escaped breaking down on Friday. But I do think there is a very, very good likelihood that we're actually going to be doing that today. And that also opens the door for more losses, you know, there. So basically, dollar strength remains the same, and having to do with the DXY index itself, what I am paying attention to is, there it is, this We got rejected on Friday from this channel trendline resistance,
Yeah.
and we gave a little bit of hope to the bears that we might see the beginning of some kind of a pullback towards 105.80.
Yes.
But today we seem to be strong again, and we're now back testing this channel once again. So
Gonna have a
if in
throwover.
essence, yeah, if in essence we reverse Friday's picture having to do with a potential pullback in the DXY, I suspect that we're going to have a lot more strength coming this week. So as I've said multiple times, it always feels appealing to try to fade the trend, but in essence, it pays off a lot more to go with the trend than, always try to grasp on any, little candlestick or hope to call a high or a low, right? So for the time being, the path of least resistance remains, and the theme we've had for many, many weeks now, months actually, I think remains as was, right?
Yeah.
So until proven otherwise, dollar remains strong. Equities have periods of little rebounds or consolidations like the period we have now. We have a choppy consolidation in the vast majority of the indices. The S&P is the prime example here as we remain within this descending channel. But in my opinion, even if we extend a little bit higher from here, it's just going to be an opportunity for many investors to just either get rid of some stocks they own, or for outright speculators to be short again. So
Nice looks, man.
Yeah.
Very nice looks. And you know what? It's good to hear you, because I am that person that probably too many times attempts turns to pick turns because of some of the RSI work I do. And, you could run into a market that can diverge till you're bankrupt. But one thing that it reminds me of when I hear you is the word confirmation. Everyone write it down. And Steve is Mr. Confirmation. And even though he has ideas and great intuition, he has a discipline to wait for confirmation. And
I think experience in the vast majority of fields reduces action and increases the quality of the action you take. So in my opinion, in trading, less is more most of the times.
Yes, unless you're a broker. All right, so
yeah, absolutely.
All right,
unless you live off commissions.
All right. Okay, so I have Nargis here, and let's see, Kareem.
Enjoy the interview.
Kareem, I'll give you a look. Nargis, welcome here. It's been a while, but we've been doing this for quite some time. I just want to show one of our attendees a look on the pound. So this looks like it's destiny down here around 1750. And okay, Nargis, how are you? Can you hear me? Gonna have to turn on your.
She's still muted.
Got it.
There you are.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Nargis. How are you? So we've been talking since 2018, 4 years or?
Yes, yes. I know. Okay. After the first crash, not crash, but the bigger pullback from the bullish train, the super bullish train.
Okay, so you want to share your screen? It's over. You know where it is. You've been here.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so we have Nargis 007. That's where you could follow her. Follow Nargis, and she puts a lot of energy into her technical work. Does some esoteric things with time and price, and she's called some fairly significant turns as well. So what's on your mind today, Nargis?
Can you guys see
your Twitter feed?
Yeah. So remember last time when we met, we talked about this, that if we get the fade in the rally, so I had drawn these two paths. So for now we got this red path where we did move up, but came down to the new low, right? So we got the price coming in between these two lines.
Right.
Very close to 3600 basically.
It was.
3639 was the low in my opinion.
Yes.
Uh,
The
so-
low, yeah, you think it's going to hold for a while?
So that's a tricky thing, which I'll talk about it now. So I wanted to show this picture.
Okay.
This which I had put it out, or maybe I didn't put it out. Oh no, it's put it out because it's of Twitter. So this is what I had initially carved a path that this is where we came to now, right? 36,
Right.
36, 39. So basically 3752 was the cycle number, and 3661 was the 50% below which we think that we should go for a new low. Basically, this is your February 2020 high, this dark black line.
Okay,
So this
back
would
to
be
the
your
prior COVID highs.
yeah, before we broke out, right?
Yeah.
So this is your 2 area. So this would be a good retest of price coming down. So that is why I've marked this in the black, dark black, and anything going below because this was our low and we ran too far too fast, and now it's coming down. Anything below here we could easily get to 3, 4, 5, because considering the nature of the beast, ES, it likes to test somewhere close to here, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen now right away, or but this is
Why
below
the
this.
golden line there? And I like it.
Yeah, this one, right?
Yeah. Why?
So this generally I have seen, like if you see IWM, you see Tesla, you see Facebook, you see Netflix, this generally they have all fallen based on this slanted price. So this also gives it to marry with time with respect to price. So it could keep falling down here. So let's say today starts falling, it could directly fall down here, right? But with time it'll dance and eventually come to where it wants to. So it'll eventually marry up to one of the three targets basically. So that's why I like the beauty of this line.
Okay. It is.
So,
and it takes imagination to find those lines. People ask me, how do you draw your lines? And I go with my imagination. So a lot of people wouldn't, kind of pick up that was an important moment in the market, so that line down the road could end up being some type of magnet. I've seen it quite often. So nice imagination.
Yeah. So I just wanted to back up a little bit. Okay. So when we were here, this was the completion of a price cycle in 2020. And it was a very sudden smackdown, tung by March, end of March, we got this low, right? And since this was an important low where, it kind of neutralized the monthly chart, and from there it ran like a mad dog without stopping or retesting this low. Again, this was since it came back here and it went here 100%, it went back to this one cycle, somewhere here 4089, another 4089 here, another cycle somewhere here. Second cycle it completed, one cycle, two cycle, and third cycle is 7,569, which we talked about, that it has fired, which means it is the future number, which it will get done. I mean, even if it's not now, it will get it done for our children. I mean, right? So because stock market is here to stay, it's not going anywhere. Sometimes we'll find a bottom and it'll fire again. So the 7,569 number is there. Now, ES has done a very tricky and a beautiful job. I would say, I mean, I am finding beauty in it because, I like to observe its behavior. So that's why I'm saying. So what it did is it took out the cycle high at 4489, like 4557 it took out, and it went all the way till 4800. So from 4489 to 7,500, 5185 is the midpoint here, somewhere here, right? 5185. So it went to the quarter cycle from that, okay? Or rather half of there, from 5185, it did half, And then from there, it came down. Now, 3481 would make, so if we start counting from here, 3481 would make the downside target. And it came down to 50%. Again, 3661 is again 50%, taking out a low of 3661, indicating that it may want a new low, which may bring us to somewhere on this black line. Now, this beast generally loves that 50% dance. So that's why we got a bounce right here, and it's still struggling.
You think the bounce is over?
No, in my opinion, there is still some bullishness left.
4100. Where's your green line?
So for this line,
yeah.
Actually we have a gap at 40 somewhere here, right? 42 here, right? Here. 44,017 is the gap. So that gap is there.
Spider's close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that gap is there. But remember, ES has also left one clue, 4202.25. It hit in the Globex, which it did not hit during RTX.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that number is open for it to hit. So let's say if it crosses this red line where it's finding it tougher to exit, if it does, then it fills the gap on the green line, and then these two blue lines. So again, there's a very, very tight supply here, which it has like an uphill battle to do.
Yeah.
So it'll take a lot of energy and effort to go there. We keep coming to this area and then keeps smacking down. What I would see. So this, we came to this blue line, and from here we bounced off, and then it's kind of a little bit struggling. This is the area of its struggle. This is the area where mostly it is getting smacked down back to here. And then again, this portion is your 2020 area, and where it generally looks like it may like it. So this is where it's getting smacked down, but I think it may still have some leg to go up. Again, we have a whole eventful week this week. There's CPI, there's OPEX, there's VIX expiry. So this drama time in day. And I don't know if people have noticed that we've started those 5 days expiration, full 5 days expiration now on XPX, right?
Right, OPEX, yeah.
That, in my opinion, is a different, completely a beast thing happening, meaning it's no more about just price or the movement, what it's supposed to do. It's all about, positioning and expiration, and where the max pain is, or where the most bet is, or where it's not. So so in my opinion, it is going to become a little bit more tougher to trade, because, suppose we closed very well yesterday, and tomorrow it's a gap down. Tomorrow morning will out of the blue, it will be a gap down, right? Because today is an expiry, tomorrow is an expiry, Wednesday is an expiry. So even the most seasoned traders who execute their trade well, see, analysis is different, execution is completely different. People who have been executing their trades very well. Even I have read a few, this thing, oh my God, this is this, this is that. So I feel this will take some time to settle. Yes, it's the overnight risk happening. So that's why for me, this following this is so much more important, because it is telling me, like, okay, it does want a new low, and it may try to fall on this line, at least somewhere close to 3481, if not 3365. That's there, but provided it finds a little bit more energy to go a little bit more above and then to come down. But anything which is trading below this 3750 line, it has a greater risk towards more downside than just this line, in my opinion. Because this going below this opens up all this big area.
A lot of space.
Yes, a lot of space for it to go. And at least I would look at a certain points to see where it will bounce, but calling in a bottom can get challenging. That's there. And NQ also, so if you go and see, this is the ES.
Yeah. A little more violent.
Yeah, this is.
You like to call things beasts.
Yeah.
Was that your
So this is
favorite book
your
as a little girl, Beauty and the Beast?
When I was growing up, we didn't had all this, what the girls or the boys have now, right? Like the minions and everything. My mom said I played with talcum powder boxes, So yeah, and I was playing with dirt. Yeah.
Okay.
Which today.
Yeah, that's what gave you your training as a trader.
I know.
Playing in dirt. Look,
I know.
Sinatra did too. Look, a lot of people did what you did. All right.
I know.
So anything, we kind of get the vibe on where you're at.
Yeah.
If you want to go to NASDAQ, anything that you kind of have a degree of conviction of, or that has changed, or that you're looking for developments that are, maybe imminent? Or are we just in the summer, things continuation mode and everything?
So
Like strong
this is,
dollar.
yes, this is what I was thinking. Basically, this is, where did my dollar go? Oh, this is my dollar, right?
Yeah.
July 10th. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a resistance cluster.
Yes. So this is where it hit, but today again it has gone back up, right? I think I'm here. I think it's 107-ish. It's already crossed again back, right?
Yeah.
But it is coming up against this cluster. This is your 1998 to 2002 cluster.
Yeah.
Coming in, and
where does it come in?
It's this bigger one is coming to around 120. Okay.
How about the gold?
This one is around 100 and so I had marked somewhere between 106 to 111, 107 to 111 basically. So what I was thinking was, once it crosses 105.8, it was, I think that was the good
prior.
Yeah. So that once it does that,
look at that.
See, so what I was seeing is that this DXY has gone bullish, right? And I was looking at yearly. So it's a kind of turn and breaking out, right? Though even though it is still coming into resistance, I still feel that this is a little bit more bullish based on the yearly. And if it maintains this, then it will definitely keep going up. But it has come to a point where a pullback is due. Now, what I have been noticing is, if you see your oil or if you see your natty, they were also going slow. And suddenly one fine day, there was a big spike, for 2-3 days, or that week was very exciting. Let's put it that way. So I was thinking DXY will also do the same thing, have that exciting week, hit some more number beyond its, a good cluster of resistance, just spike it up from there. So I was thinking that this can hit 111 area, or maybe, somewhere around there, and then probably calm down. And that will also give us a chance to see that maybe the summer in equities will give us a rally. And then you have your oil also pulling down because it's summer, right? Generally, in summer, the oil it tends to be down versus up. Because people travel, there's vacation, families wants to go out. So with very high gas prices, that becomes difficult. Even today, with so much more inflation, that's even more difficult. But that's generally been the observation from so many years. So it will calm the oil down a little bit, and then you have some elections coming in later part of the year. So the stage would set to give us some rally towards the end in order to fix or repair. Basically, right now, the only word I can use is repair some of this, which has fallen down. too much. If you see, you know, the Teslas or the what do you call Apple, they are all in the same boat. They just need a little bit more repair from falling down from here. Now Tesla is still so much better than others, but the growth stocks, all the growth stocks have you know, literally gone to the doghouse, right? So little bit of repair should be there based on their monthly charts. So I was hoping by end of the year, or probably around the election times, it should set the stage for some repair. Or if we get the repair right away, then probably that election or some event may cause it to come back and test lower. So that's my thought. And that's why I'm so very, you know, excited to watch if they're going to give the repair right away, or if they want to give the repair later on.
It'd be more bullish long term if it came later instead
Yes.
of another false start recovery
Yes.
that doesn't follow through.
Yes. So
Okay.
so and you know, most of the stocks, most of your indices, they're all on the demand, standing on the demand. See, if you see this, DIA is here, and it's wanting to push out of this box. Your IWM, see this IWM again, you know, it likes this. There was a gap here, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
So it filled that gap. And that is a good thing, in my opinion. That anomaly is gone now. And if it manages to hold in this area, then, you know, slowly it'll try to push here, at least again, facing this bigger resistance to cross. So it has, this is a very clean chunk.
So it's already retraced the COVID high, Russell. So Russell's led to the downside.
Yes.
So the theory may be that it's the first to turn.
Yes, that's I think.
What do you think of that?
169 or so was a good. Sorry, Dale, continue, please. You were saying something.
Oh, no. It led the way down, and it could be the first to turn.
Yes. Yeah. That is why I was watching that gap so very closely. And I think 169 or so, we gave a buy signal to buy it. But so far around 175, it hasn't done anything, because ES is also stuck in that 3907.
Can we wrap it with how far down gold's going to go? Because we're starting to run. Because I know you follow the gold too.
Yes,
gold. And I was wrong about. I thought we had bound 2 months ago.
Yeah, gold is. I had put out a bearish pattern on it some time ago here, saying that you know, the gold may pull back if it doesn't take out. I think here, if it doesn't take out the high, we should expect it to pull back, and it did that. So these were its downside target, and it almost coming down to this red line. Okay, the 757, 1721. That's where it has this big cluster, right? The demarcation line, basically, either above this or below this, right?
1680-ish, right?
Yeah. You remember last year we had a sudden crash overnight. It came to 1677 or 1681, if I'm not wrong.
I see somewhere, that pin bar over there.
Yes, somewhere here. And then it went away. It never tested back that number during the night. So possibly it may do it now. That's why I've marked this red line here for it to come and test that. That's why, you know, I tell the people who follow me closely is that price has a memory, and we should have to. We should know what the futures did when we were sleeping, because during the day, it always comes back to bite us or reward us, whatever way you look at it.
How many hours a day do you spend constructing, looking at, writing about the markets?
Actually, not much. Whatever you see me on Twitter, that's what I do, because I have the cycles written down for each one. And based on those numbers, I know where they are. And if they are moving out of that area, then I know something new has developed. Otherwise, they are within that. So I just follow what I had laid out. So, you know, if the price hadn't crossed this path, then I was expecting it to pull back. And now it is here. And here I'm expecting it to bounce at least an oversold bounce or reactory bounce or fulfilling this overnight number which has left on here. So I was proactive, or rather, how do you say this? Proactively or speculatively? The speculative is the right word. You know, go long here and then manage your stops below this, basically below this blue line, dark blue box, basically, because this is again, you know, your slanted
it's a mattress,
line.
Sealy posturepedic mattress zone. You know, a lot of people just have like solid lines for pivots. This is a great example of what Carter Worth says on CNBC. I think Carter's pretty good, and he says that these zones aren't made out of cement. They're more like a mattress. They're zones, not just one number with a straight line. You have to give it some cushion so you could get a good night's sleep. Right.
And you know, with futures, remember what it has done during the night, when, you know, it's important because this is where they leave the clues, what they will do, if not immediately, a little bit later.
So you're out there 007 in the dark of night looking for clues in the markets. Here's something. So what's the best way for people to follow you? Your Twitter handle?
Yes, there is my Twitter. Yeah.
Are you doing anything else? You have a private Twitter feed now, or do you have a room where you talk to your friends and traders?
I do have a Discord room. Again, it is still, I haven't still thought of monetizing it or anything. I'm just still, I'm procrastinating. I'm a big procrastinator, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody just need to give me a kick in the back to do something, but I don't know.
Find a different, you know, find a different room with a different name. I mean, how can you have harmony in a room called Discord?
Yeah, actually you're right. Maybe.
Okay, anyway. You didn't even, you know, I'm just saying, every time I hear that word Discord, I go, there's enough Discord.
I know.
Why do I want to go
right.
and hang out in a room named Discord? You know, so anyway, the markets give me Discord at times. That's enough. So thank you, my trading warrior sister.
Thank you, Dale. It's always nice talking to you and, you know, meeting you. You know what, surprisingly, we are down today when we are meeting. So let's hope that, you know, it caps it around this 38.45. There's a gap to fill downside, 38.46 on XPX. If it fills that, then probably it may go down. Probably CPI may set the stage to push it up a little bit.
Looks like an ascending triangle that it's going to knock, you know, get through eventually. I think you got a buy weakness this week.
Yes,
that's me.
So I was just talking to a few of my folks and saying that, you know, February 2020 was a big, you know, super fast down movement, but 6 months, we are since January 2022, it is 6 months, right? It's a very, very slow burn. It is sideways a lot, and then suddenly you'll get a new low, and
very hard to position.
So so this is a slow burn which people are not used to. We are used to buying the dip and expecting a new high. So this is a reverse training happening, and if they don't cap it or give a good meaningful rally soon, I feel a lot of people will go under depression because we are not used to seeing this, you know, down day, so much down, so much down, so much down.
Yeah, it's more like cancer than a heart attack.
Yeah, so that's one of the reason I feel that we may get a certain bounce just to, you know, relieve people from the same red days, if it is only for a repair, right? If nothing else, if just for a repair. And in all of this, VIX has done nothing. Technically, you know, it hasn't even taken out the high when ES is making a new low. So that story, it has to still tell its story, and when it will say it or what it's going to do, I don't know, but that is one data point I'm monitoring, why they're keeping the VIX down when ES makes a new low. So,
and you know, people, they're saying the public really hasn't sold their stocks, and you're saying everyone's sad and depressed because it's going down. Maybe the lesson in that is that they shouldn't make money the center of their world.
Yeah, probably yes.
Okay, and remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings.
Yes, definitely.
Because your account could be down, but you could always find something to be grateful for. And I challenge everyone out there today, to try and be grateful and depressed at the same time, it's not possible. Thanks
Yes.
for hanging out with me today, Nargis.
Thanks, Dale, and thanks for the wise words. Yes, there are so many reasons to be happy. You know, even though they are smaller ones, life is beautiful beyond this red and green bars.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for Twitter because we met. We've been doing this for a long time, and I don't know if you caught the tweet, but you're no longer just a guest, you're a friend.
Thank you, Dale. That means a lot to me. I consider you as friend and family too.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Nargis. Hey, team. Everyone, the team will be there. So everyone out there for the morning edge, and good luck this week. And you know, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And Nargis has led off a great week of guests. So we're just getting started here. Adios, Nargis.
Adios.
All right, see ya.